Ah, that's tasty. Mm, ah, can't eat anymore.
Snake, be careful. That barbed wire is electrified and you'll get a shock if you touch it. It looks like there's no way to get over it. First, enter the cave through the crevice. Eva said it was to the north, so head that way.
Snake, the barbed wire in that area has a high voltage electric current running through it. You'll get electrocuted if you touch that barbed wire, so don't.
Electrified barbed wire, huh? Looks like I'll have to find another way around.
That won't be necessary.
It won't.
Nope. Electrified barbed wire is a formidable barrier, but it's a pain in the neck to maintain. Apparently, it's always breaking down because wild animals keep running into it, but the word is they don't have enough personnel to fix it. If you look closely at the bottom of the barbed wire, you should be able to spot a hole somewhere. Try crawling your way through there. Snake, the barbed wire in that area has a high...
So you've got an M1911A1, huh?
Yeah, Eva gave it to me. She said it used to belong to a Western officer.
Looks like someone did a little work on it, too.
It's more than a little. First of all, the feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. It's not going to have any feeding problems. The slide's been replaced with a reinforced version, and it meshes perfectly with the frame. The frame itself has been iron welded and scraped down multiple times for maximum precision. The front strap part of the frame has been checkered to make it dig into the hand. That prevents any slipping. The sight system's original too. It's a 3-dot type. It's got an enlarged front sight, giving it superior target sighting capability. The regular hammer's been replaced with a ring hammer. That enhances the cocking control and increases the hammer down speed. They also reworked the grip safety to accommodate the ring hammer. Looks like they eliminated it altogether. This is a tool for pros. The thumb safety and the slide stop are extended to allow for more precise handling. The base of the trigger guard is whittled down so you can use a high grip. And the trigger itself is a long type for easy finger access. The trigger pull is about 3.5 pounds. That's about 1.5 pounds lighter than normal. The magazine well has been widened to make it easier to put in a new magazine. The magazine catch button has been cut down low to make it harder to hit it by mistake. The mainspring housing has been changed to a flat type to increase grip, and it's even been fitted with stepping so it doesn't slip from the recoil when firing. On top of that, they added cocking serrations to the front part of the slide. That lets you load and eject cartridges faster in an emergency. Whoever did this is a professional. No question, this thing could shoot a one-hole at 25 yards in a machine rest.
Well, I'll be damned. That's some gun.
Yeah, I've never used a weapon this fine in my life.
splitter is an indoor.
Leeches will sometimes attach themselves to you if you spend a long time in the water or the swamp. When you've got leeches on you, they'll suck your blood, causing you to lose. I see you've caught yourself an arowana. The arowana is an ancient fish that lives in tropical freshwater areas. Because of its large size, I don't think you'll be able to capture one alive. Ancient fish like the arowana are living fossils. They've hardly changed their form since the Devonian and Jurassic periods. Other ancient fish besides the arowana include the coelacanth, the starlet, and the knifefish. Almost all organisms on Earth have evolved in various shapes and forms, but these fish have kept the same form for hundreds of millions of years. Baffling, isn't it?
Sure.
Well, I can see you're not interested.
Not at all. I'm fascinated by ancient fish.
Why?
They're supposed to be huge, aren't they?
You're wondering whether they'd make a good meal.
Yeah. So, do they?
The guide says they taste just fine for a fish.
Great.
You'll suffer broken bones if you jump from too high a place or get hit with a severe blow. When you have a fracture, your maximum life goes down. Fractures will heal little by little over time, but you can heal them right away by going into Cure in the Survival Viewer and following the necessary procedure. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it.
Snake, I looked at your medical record. You've been exposed to an atomic blast?
Yeah, the Bravo shot. It was a hydrogen bomb test conducted at Bikini Atoll on March 1st, 1954. I was at the American base on Kwajalein in the Marshall Islands when the ashes of death started falling from the sky.
Any symptoms?
None. At least, not yet. But a lot of the guys who were in it with me are now suffering from thyroid cancer and leukemia. Some of them are dead already. One of these days. Anyway, I'd better get back to the mission.
Yeah. Snake, that area is inhabited by the... That area... That area... That area is...
First, enter the...
That area is known as Chorny Prud. The name means something like the Black Shore in Russian. It got its name from the deep swamp that covers the area. The crocodiles in that swamp are extremely vicious. Apparently, they've already chewed up a bunch of soldiers out on patrol. Now no one even dares to go near the swamp. They said that most of the soldiers who were killed were attacked from behind while they were in the water. You be careful out there.
Eva, what kind of unit are those ocelots I fought a little while ago?
The Ocelot unit is an elite group composed of soldiers handpicked from among the ranks of Spetsnaz, the Special Forces wing of GRU. They've undergone even more rigorous training than regular Spetsnaz. Their skill with weapons is the stuff of legends. You'll find they're much better shots than the rest of GRU. Watch yourself. The crevice that leads to the cave is still a ways to the north. Keep heading that way. The crocodiles in that...
Snake, be careful. That... Eat food.
Ah, pretty tasty. Ah, what can I say?
To eat food, press the Start button to enter the survival viewer, then select Food. Select the food you want to eat and press the Enter button. Select Eat and you will eat the selected food. When you eat, you will recover your stamina, but the extent of recovery depends on what you eat. When your stamina is down only slightly, you should save your tastier morsels for later. But don't leave food for too long or it'll rot. This is where a little planning ahead goes a long way.
Squares is a mountain camo that's basically a bunch of square patterns. It might look conspicuous. Painting your face with black paint should give you a high rate of camouflage in dark areas. When you're using the assault rifle, pressing the weapon button will hold it at waist level. That's nice if you need to drop nearby enemies with some speed, but it's difficult to aim straight. If you need to take more accurate shots, like tagging enemies in vital spots from a distance, use the aim button instead. Equip the weapon in first-person view and press the aim button to aim the gun from the shoulder. You can take precise aim with the front and rear sights. When you're focusing on your mark, it will be as accurate as if you were zooming in. You're on a solo sneaking mission. Your success is based on your ability to survive. That's where the survival viewer comes in. The survival viewer contains everything you need to survive out in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage and backpack to select your gear. Use food to eat, cure to treat wounds, and map to view a detail of the area. You've also got options that let you change the settings to suit your mission preferences. Got it? But the suppressor will deteriorate each time the gun is fired. The durability of your suppressor is displayed on the weapon icon whenever the suppressor is equipped. Be sure to keep an eye on it. Tree bark is a forest pattern created primarily for use by hunters. It'll give you an exceptionally low profile if you wear it when you're pressed up against a tree. So you've got your uniform and your face paint, but that alone isn't enough to make for good camouflage. Camouflage means blending in with nature. To make your disguise complete, you've got to keep a low profile and avoid overt movements. As long as you've got the uniform and face paint working for you, and you're lying flat keeping still, you won't have to worry about being spotted from a distance. On the flip side, dancing around your enemy in perfect camo is still a dead giveaway. So if the enemy's looking for you and he's getting too close for comfort, just lay low for the time being. You're on a solo. Tree bark is a forest. Keep in mind that every weapon and The black uniform... Tree bar...
First,
The crocodile's... The crocodile...
Snake, what in God's name?
How does it look?
It looks cool.
Huh?
It looks cool on you.
It does?
Yeah.
I don't think cool is the right word.
Why? What's wrong with it?
What's wrong? Don't you think it looks silly? Doesn't it make you laugh? Aren't you going to ask me what the hell I was thinking?
No.
Huh.
I think it really does look good. It reminds me of the alligator people.
Oh, the... what?
The Alligator People. It's a science fiction movie. You've never heard of it?
No.
Oh, well, you should see it sometime. It's about this guy who gets hurt in a car accident and tries to heal his wounds by injecting himself with a crocodile serum, but then his head turns into a crocodile head. You look just like him with the mask on. That's awesome!
Right.
Huh?
Oh, never mind. I suppose you might be able to disguise yourself as a crocodile by wearing that cap and sticking your head out of the water.
A cap shaped like a crocodile head, you say?
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. You know, animal disguises are one of the oldest tricks in the book in the intelligence world. I don't know whether it's true or not, but I've heard that during World War II, the OSS used to use cow suits. Supposedly, they sent agents out to hide in herds of real cows so they could spy on enemy units as they passed by. Nowadays, I guess most people wouldn't even give a crocodile-shaped cap a second look. They think it was just a gag item. But if you use it the right way, it can be an effective weapon for spying. I gotta hand it to you, Snake. You're one sharp guy. You okay, Snake?
Forget it.
Huh?
The crevice that leads... The crevice that...
Leaf pattern is a forest camouflage created to provide cover in woodland areas. Now that our involvement in Vietnam looks set to expand, they're thinking about adopting it for official use. It'll help you blend in, especially well when you're hiding in the bushes. So, you're wearing woodland face paint. The woodland paint is most effective in forest environments. It'll work best if you use it when infiltrating forest areas. So you've got your...
With an equipped weapon in overhead view, press and hold the aim button to lock your line of fire while moving in any given direction. Use this for charges or retreats, or any other time that you want to concentrate fire in one direction while moving.
The degree to which you move the left stick not only changes your walking speed, but changes your speed when crawling and for intrusion movement. With large movements of the left stick, you can move faster, but you'll make noise and give yourself away to nearby enemies. With slight movements of the left stick, you can move in silence. It sacrifices speed, but it's the best choice for the times when creating noise presents significant risk.
Snake, if you step in any water or mud, your feet will get wet. If you walk like that, you'll leave footprints behind and the enemy may follow them straight to you. Try to avoid walking through any water or mud as much as possible. However, if your feet do get wet, just crawl to avoid leaving any footprints behind. When you don't want anybody following your trail, make sure to crawl. Snake, you'll be helpless if...
You can take off your face paint by selecting No Paint from Face. Just select No Paint when you want to skip wearing any face paint at all. But your camo index is never going to be as high without face paint as it is with it. Unless you want the enemy to see you, you ought to be wearing face paint. Your field uniform is not just a set of threads to wear. To get the max effect out of your camouflage, you gotta correspond with your environment. So no matter where you are, make sure to choose a camo pattern that lets you blend in. So, you're on a solo
Snake, look at that tree. See how the branches extend out to the other side of the barbed wire? I'll bet you could climb the tree, move from branch to branch, and drop down on the other side. That area is reportedly planted with claymore mines. Claymores pack quite a punch. Don't risk heavy injury. Be careful. Claymores are not completely buried in the ground. If you look closely enough, you can tell where they've been hidden. You can also pick up claymore mines by crawling over them. It'll be useful if you recover a few of the enemy's traps. Equip food as a weapon and press the weapon button to throw the food. If you throw a live animal near an enemy, you may be able to distract him. If an enemy is really hungry, he may pounce at the prospect of food. You have minimal gear on this mission, and you have to make the most use out of anything you can procure on the ground. Snake, the Mark 22 is a tranquilizer gun. Use it to put enemies to sleep without harming them. The speed with which the tranquilizer takes effect depends on the point of impact on the enemy. If a target is hit on the arm or leg, the tranquilizer won't take effect immediately, but a target hit on the head will drop like a fly. If you want to take an enemy out in a flash, aim for the head. Snake, let me explain the enemy's various states of alert. First of all, there's the state in which the enemy in that area doesn't know that you're there. This is called normal phase. In normal phase, the enemy will follow normal procedures for patrols and other activities. They won't present much of a danger to you. But if they spot an intruder, that means you, they'll attack in an attempt to neutralize you. This is called alert phase. Alert phase will last until the enemy loses sight of you. Even after they lose sight of you, the enemy will continue to search the area for a while. This is called evasion phase. Evasion phase will last until the enemy exhausts their search effort. Once evasion phase is over, the enemy should return to base. After the search is aborted, the enemy will enter caution phase. In caution phase, enemy soldiers will be more cautious in their patrols, and they'll likely be more difficult to detect. In addition to the regular patrols, there's also a chance that they'll send out additional search units. Keep on your toes. After you've grabbed an enemy from behind with CQC, you can interrogate him by pressing the left stick. This is an opportunity to gain intelligence. Some of your enemies have valuable information, so give the technique a try and see what you can learn. Press the crawl button during a run to commence a roll. For a brief interval, you'll perform a jump which can be used to knock down enemies. In contrast to the training you've done so far, you can use rolling to jump waist-high objects. However, remember that rolling consumes more stamina than standard running. Snake, remember that the suppressor is a limited commodity.
I know. No suppressor lasts forever.
Exactly. When the suppressor's durability wears away, it breaks beyond repair. See the weapon icon to check the suppressor's present level of durability. Remove the suppressor from your gun if you want to make it last. Select the weapon that the suppressor is on with the weapon window button and press the Enter button to attach or detach the suppressor. Regulate usage of the suppressor based on the situation. Snake, certain enemy soldiers are equipped with radios. These signalers can use their radios to transmit information to and from the command headquarters. If a signaler realizes your presence, you can bet he'll be on the horn calling backup from headquarters. After headquarters receives the call for backup, they contact a nearby unit and order them to head over to give support. Once backup arrives, your enemies will outnumber you beyond hope for victory. It'll be too much for even you to handle. If you notice a signaler making a call for backup with his radio, take him out before he has the chance. If the call gets through, retreat before the backup unit arrives. If you hang around too long, you'll find yourself immensely outmatched. Got it? It's possible to destroy the radio that enemy correspondents use. If you must get involved in a fight, destroying the radio first will allow you to concentrate on the battle without worrying about reinforcements. Snake, this operation is a sneaking mission. You'll be doing your job right under the enemy's nose. In the event that you're spotted by an enemy, disable him before he can alert nearby soldiers. If you can take him out before he alerts other enemies of your presence, then the alert phase will quickly be restored to normal phase. But don't forget, even this should only happen in emergencies. Your top priority is to avoid being spotted by the enemy in the first place. Be effective. Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from your gun depends on where you hit him. If you hit an arm or leg, one shot won't be enough to finish him. If you want to take an enemy out in one shot, you'll have to use a first-person view attack and get a solid shot to the head. If you crawl into the grass, you can advance under cover. When you do, the camera automatically switches to intrusion view. If you want to stand up again, press and hold the crawl button once more. If you press the crawl button briefly, you'll crouch in that spot. This allows you to observe things without blowing your cover. You can get inside trees that are hollowed out from decay. Entering a hollow is an effective method for gaining temporary cover from enemies. However, if you're caught entering the tree, you'll take concentrated fire. If they throw a grenade in on you, you'll be torn to shreds. Be careful. Snake, when you stand up against a tree or put your back against the wall near a corner, the camera lowers and gives you a view of behind. This is the corner view. This allows you to keep track of what's occurring behind you when hiding in protected areas. Also, there are a variety of actions possible while hiding, including using the left and right step buttons to peek, and the weapon button to take jump-out shots. Learning how to take advantage of the corner view is the first step towards mission success. Use it to your utmost advantage. In the corner view, press the left step button or the right step button to stick yourself out from a protected area and look over your shoulder. We'll call this action peeking. Peeking is effective for observation, since it gives you a wider range of vision than the normal corner view. However, since it involves revealing part of your body, you put yourself at risk of being spotted by the enemy. Move the right stick with the corner view on to shift the camera in that direction. This won't give you the same wide angle as peeking with the left and right step buttons, but it is safer since it will keep you from exposing your body too much. You'll do well to get accustomed to it. If you have a gun equipped during the corner view, press the weapon button to jump out and take a jump out shot. With the jump out shot technique, you can stay protected from enemy fire behind an obstruction and launch a burst attack when the time is right. This is a crucial technique for firefights. Use it well. By equipping grenades and pressing the weapon button in corner view mode, you can throw a grenade while hiding behind a barrier. This technique should come in handy during a firefight. Use it well. Press the action button when you're on top of a branch or in front of a railing to hang down from that spot. This action is called hanging. Sometimes it's advantageous to move while hanging rather than walking on the surface. Also, by hanging, you can hide by staying out of the sight of your enemies.
While hanging, use the left stick, left step button and right step button to move left and right. When you want to climb back up from your hanging position, press the action button once more. If you want to drop down, press the crawl button.
You can't keep hanging forever. Once you run out of grip strength, you'll fall. Check your grip strength with the grip gauge. When you hang, a blue gauge appears above the stamina gauge. This is the grip gauge. It indicates the status of your grip. When hanging, the grip gauge drops. When the grip gauge expires, you will fall, so you must climb back up before that happens. The length of the grip gauge depends upon your stamina. If you need to hang for a long period, you'll have to revive your stamina first. If there's something to grab onto during a fall, press the action button when you pass in front of it. If you get the timing right, you'll be able to grab and hang onto that area. With this technique, you can reach locations that are inaccessible by other means. You may even find some rare items this way. Observe your geographic surroundings and try to find spots that you could grab during a fall. Press the crawl button while hanging to drop straight down. You can knock an enemy instantly unconscious with this technique if you land on top of him. When you're in a tree, try aiming for an enemy passing beneath. Press the action button from on top a branch to hang down from the tree, but you can only remain hanging as long as your grip strength lasts. Keep an eye on your grip gauge when dangling from a tree. Be careful. With low stamina, your grip won't last long. If you approach an enemy undetected, you can render him defenseless by jutting a gun into his body from behind. This is called a hold-up. However, even after rendering an enemy defenseless, if he notices you put your weapon away or start to walk away, he will attack. So, be careful. When you hold an enemy up, sometimes he will give you an item. Conducting a hold-up presents risks, but it is a useful technique when you're running low on ammunition or medical items. After you've received an item from a hold-up, you might try holding the enemy up again. He might give up a more precious, hidden item. You can climb up onto waist-high objects by pressing the action button. Climbing can get you to locations that can't be accessed by walking, and it may help you reach items that can't be found normally. Don't forget to try climbing things.
Snake, press the left stick down on the radio screen to open the memory window. In the memory window, select a person to contact and press the enter button. This saves you the time of adjusting the frequency.
The battlefield airwaves are littered with various transmissions. You can find a real catch if you fiddle around enough. Press the CQC button when you're up against a wall to knock on the wall and make a sound. Creating sounds can attract the attention of enemies. There are many ways to use sound to your advantage. Use it to lure an enemy in the wrong direction. Then use that opportunity to slip by. Or lure an enemy near you. Then ambush the enemy from behind. Use it to your utmost advantage. Snake, if you find an item box, use first-person view to take a good look and find out what's inside. Sometimes it's dangerous to blindly go after an item. That's why you should check first to make sure the item in the item box is worth the trouble. If you can't get a good look, you can use your binoculars.
When you press the weapon button with the handgun, you aim, and when you release it, you fire. If, after aiming, you wish to withdraw your aim without firing, push the left stick button. You'll just have to practice until you get the hang of it. I've heard of a lot of cases where fresh recruits accidentally fired on enemies during a hold-up. If you train yourself now, you won't be liable to misfire when the pressure's on. If you're unsure of yourself, you should practice. The assault rifle works a little differently from the handgun. Press the left stick button to aim, then press the weapon button to fire. If you want to lower the weapon without firing, such as during a hold-up, press the left stick button again while aiming. Be careful not to fire the weapon the moment you aim. The distance that you throw grenades and other throwable weapons is determined by how long you press the weapon button. A short tap of the weapon button will toss the weapon nearby, while a long press of the button will hurl it farther. Adjust the length of the button press as appropriate. You can also throw in first-person view. With this view, you can throw more accurately at specific targets. Use it as necessary.
In first-person view, use the right step button to take one step right and the left step button to take a step left. Use it to attack while hiding behind barriers and to step out of hidden spots to scout. During first-person view, press the left and right step buttons at the same time to stretch up slightly from that position. It's useful when you're hiding behind barriers and scouting or in a shootout.
When you creep inside a small space, the overhead view switches to the intrusion view. Movement during the intrusion view is a bit different from movement during the overhead view. Use up on the left stick to advance, down to go backwards, and left and right to rotate.
Use directional button left and right to shift left and right.
With large movements of the left stick, you move faster but create sound. Nearby enemies might notice you. With slight movements of the left stick, you can move without making a sound, but at the expense of speed. Use both types of movement in appropriate situations.
Snake, did you notice that when you knock an enemy unconscious, stars appear over his head? If you take a close look at the stars above the enemy's head, you'll notice that they gradually disappear, one at a time. Once the stars are all gone, the enemy becomes conscious again and returns to battle. So, when you knock out an enemy, be sure to plan for his recovery. Snake, if you find an item box, use first-person view to take a good look and find out what's inside. Sometimes it's dangerous to blindly go after an item. That's why you should check first to make sure the item in the item box is worth the trouble. If you can't get a good look, you can use your binoculars.
Snake, I don't recommend running around wildly. You need to determine...
Snake, the damage that an enemy takes from your...
Snake, it looks like there are claymore mines planted all over that area. Claymores are a new type of anti-personnel mine produced in America. The ones you see there must have either been stolen or recovered from a battlefield in Southeast Asia. And what's more, our Russian friends seem to have modified these claymores with a special type of sensor. If you get anywhere near them, bang, you're toast. Watch your step. Claymores can be picked up by crawling over them. If you come across a minefield, try crawling through it. In addition to AKs, some of the patrols you'll encounter might be...
Treating serious wounds will require you to use additional medical items besides your knife and cigar. That's why it's always a good idea to carry as many medical items with you as possible. If you start to run out of medical items, find some...
When you're using the assault rifle, pressing the... Covering your body is a good start.
Some types of...
When you press the weapon button with the hand...
First, enter the...
Good. You made it to Bolshaya Pust. The name Bolshaya Pust means something close to the Great Cavity. It probably got that name from the crevice to the north. There's a fortified area in the southern part of Bolshaya Pust that's strung with barbed wire. To the north of that is a relay station that serves as both a depot for material shipments and a communication facility. The crevice leading to the cave is located to the north of the relay station. Head north.
Eva, where are you now?
I told you, didn't I? I'm right near the Colonel.
Pretty weak answer, if you ask me.
I suppose you're right.
Eva.
Snake, I'm under orders to cooperate with you, but that doesn't mean I have to tell you everything I know. I would assume the same applies to you, too. The crevice that leads to the... Snake, the barbed wire in that... Snake.
Radio, where's our backup?
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We've lost the enemy. Enter high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Patrol here. We're under fire. Enemy position unknown. Commencing alert status.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
Snake, it looks like they've got attack dogs in that area. Attack dogs generally receive extensive military training in tracking and combat techniques. They're formidable close-range fighters and difficult to elude. Their barking can alert enemy patrols to your presence as well. Take care not to let attack dogs catch sight of you. Attack dogs may be dangerous, but they can't climb trees. If you've been cornered by attack dogs, try climbing a tree. Smoke grenades should prove useful as well. Snake, it looks like they've got...
You say there are attack dogs? Those attack dogs are Great Danes. The breed is originally from Germany. They've been used for hundreds of years as hunting dogs. As you can see, they're very large, strong too. They've got a calm yet courageous temperament, and on top of that, they're extremely intelligent. In some cases, a trained Great Dane can be more dangerous than a human opponent. Watch out for them.
Interesting.
Forget it, Snake.
Forget what?
You were thinking about how they taste, weren't you?
I wasn't thinking.
Don't lie to me. I could tell by the look on your face.
You can't see my face.
No, but I can imagine it. Don't you dare think about trying to capture an attack dog. You hear me?
Yeah.
They sicked attack dogs on you? People have been using dogs in wars since before recorded history. The Greek and Roman armies used to send out packs of dogs with spiked collars to charge at enemy ranks. Attack dogs were regularly employed in the First and Second World Wars as well. Traditionally, dogs have been used to keep watch, send messages, and assist in search operations. Then the Soviets came up with a new idea, using them to carry bombs.
Bomb dogs?
Yeah, they were trained to dive beneath tanks carrying a payload of bombs. Apparently it worked pretty well, but the Russians messed up, man. They used their own tanks for the training. Turns out the dogs kept going after Russian tanks and blowing them up, so the plan was scrapped before it got off the ground. Well, I don't think you need to worry about those dogs exploding on you. They don't seem to be the bomb-carrying type. But they are highly trained in tracking and detection. Don't underestimate them. They're excellent trackers and ferocious fighters. Attack dogs move fast and are deadly in proximity encounters. They'll pick up your scent and use it to track you, so it'll be hard to shake them off. In a way, they're more dangerous than any human opponent. Be prepared. The Soviet-made smoke grenades you might find around there also seem to act as a mild tear gas. It might not have that much of an effect on human targets wearing balaclavas, but it ought to wreak havoc to a dog's nose. If you're being chased by attack dogs, give them a taste of a smoke grenade.
Snake, sorry if I forgot to tell you, but they've got attack dogs prowling that area. If they find you, you'll be in for a rough time. Attack dogs are trained for fighting, and you won't be able to shake them off so easily. If they bark at you, it'll alert nearby patrols to your presence. Be careful not to get spotted by those dogs. Tell me something, Snake. Why did you let Ocelot get away?
I thought I told you already.
Because he's still a kid?
Yeah,
Pretty lame excuse if you ask me.
you think so?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe you're right.
The crevice that leads to the cave is to the north of your current location. Keep heading north.